home Monday morning, 6:15 or just shy of 6:15, and it is the 16th. So we're not actually training this morning. No, we don't train on a Monday morning because usually we played on a Sunday. So well, why are you in this early then? There's a lot of prep that's got to be done for the week ahead, in particular what's going on over the next sort of month or two. So I've got to keep things ticking over in preparation. So the next thing we've got to prepare for, next set of things we've got to prepare for, is obviously the games this week. So SAP, or what used to be SAP Academy, are away at Brisbane City. Junior boys, 13s, 14s, 15s and 18s are at home against Ipswich Knights. The 16s, I believe Ipswich pulled the pin on the comp, so we got them. Under 18s are midweek, and then the other three, 13s to 15s, are on Sunday, weather permitting, by the way, because apparently it's going to rain again. Seniors are away at Redlands, so I'm not too sure on the senior women. I haven't looked at their schedule yet, it's not been submitted, so I need to have a look at that to see where they are, and I'll put that in later on. So why am I in early? So a couple of immediate things are obviously the ongoing club assessment, which has to be done, and I spend pretty much all weekend not solely on that, but backwards and forwards in between different things, submitting documentation, getting things up to speed, sending documentation out to staff. So that's an ongoing process which needs to be tip top and spot on. The next thing on our radar is obviously the Bill Turner Cup, which is back to football, in terms of practical football. So next Tuesday we are at Maroochydore Football Club in the group stage. So there's various schools on the coast that we're going to be up against, so we need to make sure we are prepped for that. I'll take care of the under 14 stroke under 15s boys as normal, and then I'm sort of handing over the reins of them when the new sort of TD comes across. So but for this Bill Turner, I'll actually see this bit through, and maybe the next bit, I'm not sure, see how it goes, and then I have to prepare for the games at the weekend, which I've just spoken about. So there's quite a bit going on. Sounds a lot, it is a lot, but because we're used to doing it week in, week out, it just becomes second nature with everything we do. So that's why I'm in early. So in and amongst that, we're actually preparing for other things, the National Second Division, apparel for 2023, actually, that's another one. So there's a lot going on, and when we've got new full-time staff coming in, I want to make sure everything's in place, and I can sort of move to the side and up out of the way, knowing that everything's been put into place. We've just over the weekend, or back end of last week, announced our ongoing trial process for 2023. Not necessarily NPL, might be NPL, not necessarily, so it might be another competition, we'll see. So because as we speak, no club in the state has a license to compete in the NPL beyond this current season anyway, and nobody knows what's going on anyway. So but that's not going to stop what we're doing, because we've got other irons in the fire anyway. We would love to be in the NPL, of course, but that's out of our hands. So people asking, well, why are you doing a club assessment for next year? I've asked the same question, and so have many other clubs, but we do what we're told.
Keep it going. On the way, on the way. Well done, Jai. Well done. Right back, right back. Now you get wide, now you get wide. Now you get wide. Good. Put that ball. Other way.
How do you want to move our foot when we're moving sideways? Do we want to come in behind like this? As we're here, side stepping across so we can jump and we can move up with the ball, yeah? So let's do it again. So just kind of spin out a little bit. Good, so same again. So as we're setting, hold, we're moving, step, and then we're jumping up with the ball. Yep. Just watch that ball, Charlie, move out of the way. Yep, same again, ball back to here. So ball back here, guys, with the server. Yep, same thing. Ready? Off we go. Yep. Across, good. Little steps, little steps.
Faster, Abel, faster. Abel, all the way through.
Working, so on the 9v9 field over there is Benny, so he's been doing some structured work in small-sided game format, some stop-start, and then he's broken off the 2 or 3 of the players actually to give them some individual work where they can actually add a bit to their game, which is good. And that's what makes one of our programs so successful, because we have people like that who go to them sort of lengths. So we don't just let the kids play, we certainly don't just work on the individuals, although we do like to bring a little bit of detail to the individual in their little cluster groups, which is what Ben did earlier. So just over my shoulder here, and I'll turn, not over my shoulder, actually on the field in front of me is Tom and Adam, and he's doing some technique work with the babies. So you've seen me get some footage of that as well, and again that's paying attention to the detail for the younger kids, because that's important. So they'll still continue doing that, and then they will rotate shortly, probably about another 15 minutes, and then over the far side is Trent with the girls. So the girls and the boys under 14s and under 15s, they have the Bill Turner Cup on Tuesday. So my group are over on the far side working with Bruno, and as rigorous and hard as that look, that's actually not that hard. It's actually conditioning. I say not that hard. I wouldn't like to be doing it, to be fair. I would have done as a youngster, but certainly not now. But that's part of the reason why we don't get many soft tissue injuries, because our injury management program, which is what Bruno is head of, and he works closely with the physios, etc. That's why we have low intrinsic injury. It's more impact injury rather than soft tissue injury. Through pulls or tears or niggles or strains, for that very reason. And Bruno, as you know, is full-time, so that's what he specialises in. That's why we let him do what he does. So he'll hand that group over to me in around about 10 minutes, and then I'll start to do some prep work for the Bill Turner Cup, which is Tuesday. So I'll start to ingrain our team shape, run through our set plays, which are ingrained, and then we'll move off into some small-sided stuff to give them something decent to finish off with, a little bit of a razz. In front of me here now is Coxie, so Damien Cox, working with our goalkeepers. So we've got our under 9s to under 15s keepers there, working with Damien. So Coxie played last night actually in the Australia Cup, as they call it now. It used to be the FFA Cup. So got himself on the score sheet actually in one of the penalties, so did really well. But back to what he does here, part of his work is to prepare our goalkeepers to make sure they're at the level and continue to be at the level that we need in our academy program, not full-time academy program, in the academy program and NPL program. So that's why, you know, Damien comes in for that 4.5-hour block on a Thursday afternoon, which is quite a substantial block for a goalkeeping coach to be working with goalkeepers. But it's important to give the goalkeepers that provision, because they're always an afterthought in any football club. Not every football club, but in a lot of football clubs it's like, well, you just go and join in with the outfield players. Well, that doesn't service their needs. So you know, we've helped Damien with his qualifications and stuff, and invest in him, which in return we hope the investment pays off by investing in our players, which is what the program's all about. So I'm just looking at the clouds. I'm no weather guru, but we're obviously in for another little bit of a drenching. But as you can see, with the amount of water that's still around, not going to stop us. I said this to you before, it's about getting out on the field and not making the players train, but getting the players used to training and playing in these conditions where it's a little bit heavy, the grass is a little bit greasy, the balls are a little bit slick and greasy, so they've got to raise their concentration levels another 10-15% to meet the conditions of the environment and the weather. So I'm conscious now, again, I've been yammering on for nearly 6 minutes, but again, it's important to show you the stuff that goes on, because we keep saying, you know, there's not another football club that does what we do, and there isn't, despite all the negative comments that we get, which is not many, but we still have the tall poppy syndrome people that harp up, you know, pipe up on social media and under, you know, false names and all that. Never going to stop that, and it's usually out of jealousy and spite, to be fair. So that's the reason why people harp up like that, is because they're just jealous of what we're doing. So I take that as a compliment. So I'll turn back round, we'll look at the girls a little bit longer. Last game! Time!
Face them up, commit in one way, then we go another line. Are good? Yeah? First up forward, alright?
Yeah, because if we have our leg out here, what might it do? It might bounce off. So when we're going towards our thrower, it can...